business transformation strategist dedicated to helping coaches and consultants unlock their authentic advantage and secure higher paying clients. With over 16 years of experience, Karen has guided numerous professionals to transform their expertise into lucrative businesses. Her approach isn't about hustling harder, it's about aligning your unique strengths with clients who value them. Karen's expertise spans from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to founding Karen Graves Coaching. Beyond her professional achievements, Karen is passionate about empowering others to achieve their full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series. We welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series. Karen Graves is an IPEX certified professional coach with a background in business strategy and sales leadership. She is a seasoned business transformation strategist dedicated to helping coaches and consultants unlock their authentic advantage and secure higher paying clients. With over 16 years of experience, Karen has guided numerous professionals to transform their expertise into lucrative businesses. Her approach isn't about hustling harder, it's about aligning your unique strengths with clients who value them. Karen's expertise spans from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to founding Karen Graves Coaching. Beyond her professional achievements, Karen is passionate about empowering others to achieve their full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series. We welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series. Karen Graves is an IPEX certified professional coach with a background in business strategy and sales leadership. She is a seasoned business transformation strategist dedicated to helping coaches and consultants unlock their authentic advantage and secure higher paying clients. With over 16 years of experience, Karen has guided numerous professionals to transform their expertise into lucrative businesses. Her approach isn't about hustling harder, it's about aligning your unique strengths with clients who value them. Karen's expertise spans from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to founding Karen Graves Coaching. Beyond her professional achievements, Karen is passionate about empowering others to achieve their full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series. We welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series. Karen Graves is an IPEX certified professional coach with a background in business strategy and sales leadership. She is a seasoned business transformation strategist dedicated to helping coaches and consultants unlock their authentic advantage and secure higher paying clients. With over 16 years of experience, Karen has guided numerous professionals to transform their expertise into lucrative businesses. Her approach isn't about hustling harder, it's about aligning your unique strengths with clients who value them. Karen's expertise spans from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to founding Karen Graves Coaching. Beyond her professional achievements, Karen is passionate about empowering others to achieve their full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on what part of the world it is that you are joining me from. My name is Sheyi Agbede. I am a leadership growth enabler and a learning and development specialist. I help individuals and organizations to discover clarity and become the very best versions of themselves through coaching and training interventions. And I'm so excited to be doing this. Now, this is one of the many interventions it is that we use to enhance what it is that we're doing. So this is the month of March, and As you know, the whole month of March is dedicated to supporting our women, right? Like I said, I'm not a woman, but I'm a woman ally, right? So the whole month of March is going to support all our women folk out there, how to help them to become the best versions of themselves. So this is the third in this series this month, I believe. Yes, this is the third one we're having in this month, and it's been an amazing session altogether. Today's session is going to be equally amazing as well. We have our guest. She's behind the scenes right now. She's waiting to jump on the conversation today. Whatever platform it is that you're joining us from right now, we're streaming on YouTube and on LinkedIn. Apologies for those that may have been waiting for us on Facebook for some strange reason. We couldn't get Facebook to work right now, but that's the thing about technology. But we're good on Facebook, on YouTube, and we're good on LinkedIn. So yes, we will shoot on those platforms, right? In the course of the conversation, don't be a fly on the wall, right? We'd like for you to contribute and be a part of the conversation. If you can drop your messages in the chat, we will see them and try to take them as the conversations go on. Before I bring our speaker on, she's going to be here very, very shortly. She's going to be up. I'll bring her up very shortly. Just to say to you, in case you have been at any part of the world and you have not heard, maybe you have been hiding in some cave or something, the Impact Leadership Conference is holding in the next couple of weeks, right? The next edition, right? This is a conference that we started about 3 years ago, and we've had this the 19th edition of the conference that we're having now. It's been held in different cities around Ireland, the UK, and even the US. Now, the next edition is holding in London, right? On the 26th of April, we're holding that in London. If you haven't secured your space for that, you still have an opportunity. We still have limited slots available, especially for the in-person edition, right? If you want to join us in person, we have limited slots available. It is absolutely free, but it is based on registration and approval, so you can indicate your interest to be a part of that. Our team will vet that application, and if you're successful, you will receive a ticket to be a part of the conference. Now, if you want to join us virtually as well, you still have to go through the same vetting process, because we want to ensure that the room has the right people we need in the room, right? So go through that process. Someone should be dropping that link for you right now, either on YouTube or on LinkedIn. Someone should be dropping the link for you to be able to register to be a part of those conferences. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited for the conversation it is that we're going to be having today. Before I bring our speaker on, I'm going to go ahead and play her video profile. Now, you may have been seeing that earlier as well, but just for the benefit of those that haven't seen that, just for you to have an idea of who it is that will be having a chat with us today, I'm going to go and play her video profile, and the next voice you'll be hearing after that will be that of the speaker that we're having today. So ladies and gentlemen, see you shortly. Bye-bye for now.
We welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series. Karen Graves is an IPEX certified professional coach with a background in business strategy and sales leadership. She is a seasoned business transformation strategist dedicated to helping coaches and consultants unlock their authentic advantage and secure higher paying clients. With over 16 years of experience, Karen has guided numerous professionals to transform their expertise into lucrative businesses. Her approach isn't about hustling harder, it's about aligning your unique strengths with clients who value them. Karen's expertise spans from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to founding Karen Graves Coaching. Beyond her professional achievements, Karen is passionate about empowering others to achieve their full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series.
All right, Karen, thank you very much. We're so excited that you're joining us on this conversation today. I know we've just gone through your video profile, right? We've just kind of heard who you are and what you do, but we like to always hear from what we call the horse's mouth, right? So please talk to us. Who exactly is Karen? Please tell us a bit about that.
So I am a business growth strategist, and what that means is I love to help thought leaders, subject matter experts, coaches, consultants, those who, really have the intellectual ability to help and transform the lives of others, make more money, the long and the short of it, and to really help them to do it without the struggle, without the hustle, and without starting over. So it is my joy and, an honor to work with some amazing clients, but these are all leaders in their own right, and I help them market and sell themselves effectively, and so that they get the clients that they most want to work with to create the lives that they have been trying to create. So I try to make it easy.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you so very much. So, guys, you've heard it. That's Karen. Now, we're going to be having some conversations in the next, say, 40 minutes thereabout. Now, Karen, you've had an incredible journey, right? From corporate leadership to helping professionals build purpose-driven coaching and consulting businesses, just like you've rightly talked about. So, can you share a bit about your story? What inspired this transition to where you are right now? It's important. I mean, we'd like to know about that. Can you share that with us?
Absolutely. My story began really out of trying to lean into my purpose. I was working in corporate. I was working for a major Fortune 100 company in pharmaceuticals. I was in training and sales training and development, and I had a team management position. And I had just gotten to the point where I was pretty burnt out, and the company was going through a lot of changes. And as they were going through changes, they gave us a coach. And in that coaching, the coach was like asking me questions about what was I feeling that I really wanted to be doing. And it took everything in me to say, not this, not what I'm doing here in corporate, like in this corporation. I had just come to a point where I knew I was meant for more. I knew I was meant to make a bigger impact, but I didn't know what it looked like, and I didn't know what it felt like, and I didn't know where to start it. And so going through that process of being coached, I came to this realization of like, I kind of want to do what you're doing for me. Like, I felt that I was being seen, and that what I was saying mattered, and somebody was hearing me, and I wanted to provide that for other people and to help them, get out of their own way. And so from there, I went ahead and I, got certified as a coach. And not long after that, my position started changing within the organization. And so I had the opportunity to step away and start my own business. And so that's what my passion was, to just go out and start helping more people. But I will tell you that there were some bumps along the way, and I'll probably keep that for a little bit more. But I will say that, where I am now really came out of making all of those mistakes. And what I say to my clients is, I made those mistakes. I don't want you to have to make those same mistakes. I want to shorten your learning curve. And it was a really long and bumpy learning curve. But I took that wisdom and really helped my clients to grow their businesses while navigating through what can be the minefield of entrepreneurship and business ownership.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much. So this was born out of your own journey to become better, which is similar for many coaches that I know of as well. My own story as well. I started searching for how to become better myself, and now I do the same thing to help other people to become better versions of themselves as well. Thank you so very much. So, your approach emphasizes wisdom over hustle, right? So what does that mean to you for anybody that is listening right now, and how has it shaped the way that you guide your clients to achieve results?
Yeah, so what I really focus on is helping my clients build from what they already know and what they've already accomplished and the skills that they've already honed. And what I find is that when people tend to, a lot of my clients, the majority of my clients are leaving some long-held career. They've worked 10, 15, 20 years in a field, and they take that knowledge and now they're transitioning to starting their own thing. And they start with this space of like, oh, I've never done this business thing before. I've never been like a professional coach before. And I'm like, but you have the skills, you have the wisdom, you have the experience. You do not have to start over. And instead of trying to figure out how to start a business as a coach, take the wisdom you've already accomplished and put it into the framework of building a business from it. And so that tends to shorten this whole time frame of like, who am I? What do I do? And they have this newness. And I'm like, let's alleviate some of that newness. You may be new to building a business, but you are not new on this planet, and you have plenty to go on. And so I can ramp them up a lot faster when they can lean into you've led teams, you have hired people, had to let people go, you've mentored people, you have driven major projects, you've probably done mergers and acquisitions. Like, they have navigated so much in their lifetimes. And most of my clients have, started working since they were in their early teens. I'm like, you have so much wisdom that you don't need to work as hard as you think that you do. Now you will work, but it's not going to be the hard, heavy lifting that most people think that owning a business looks like.
Interesting. So what you're saying is a lot of people actually have the competencies to earn a lot more than what it is that you're doing now based on the experiences that they have already, but they are dropping money on the table, so to say, which is what you help them to realize and achieve. Am I right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, I'm very interested in that as well, because who wants to drop money on the table? Now, so let's talk
that's
a bit.
right.
Yeah. So now, one of your key points is spotting hidden opportunities where people are already trying to pay for your expertise, right? So how can someone identify these opportunities? In case someone is watching right now, are you saying that, oh, I've got these potentials in me. How can I spot these opportunities? Especially for people that don't see them yet. For some people, yes, it's obvious they can see it, but for some others, it's not that obvious. So how can they spot these opportunities in them?
Well, first and foremost, when it comes to spotting the hidden opportunities, is that you have to first think about, well, what is it that I'm really, really good at? Like, what is that thing that that problem I can solve that other people don't solve like as easily as I do? What are people coming to me for and asking my advice and seeking my guidance for already? That's the first clue of, oh, there's something I'm really good at. And what happens with a lot of times, because I work with people who have, they've done so many things that sometimes they have a hard time finding like, what's that one thing? And it's the one that is the easiest. When I say easy, I mean, you probably do it, you don't even think about it, and you probably take it for granted. You think that, oh, everybody can do this because I do it. But everybody always tells you it's a mirror, like what you do is so amazing, and they love and they lean into it. So that's number one, is determining like, what is that thing that I'm the best skilled at? Like, what is that? Like, it's easy as breathing. And then from there, who is going to benefit most from this and is already showing that they're investing in what this solution is, right? And so a lot of times what will happen is, especially in the growing stage, people are looking everywhere. Like, where's my client? Where's my client? Where's my client over there? And they're doing all these things. Like, I'm going to throw up a website. I'm going to start going online. I'm going to start doing like all this busy work to pull in clients. And my thing is, stand still and figure out, who do you already know? What industries have you already worked in? Who are your relationships? Like, what's your network like? Because chances are the biggest challenge you have is the people that already are looking for it are so close to you, and you just haven't communicated that, hey, I'm available to help you. And I'm ready to, I'm ready to be that advisor for you, or I'm ready to offer my services to you. Instead of looking for all the strangers, your network is already ripe. Your community is already ripe. Like, you don't have to search in high and low. You have to stand still and already lean into who you know and what you know.
So you said the community is ripe. You are right. The community is ripe. Those are some very, very valuable tips it is that you have given there. And many people may not have thought about these things the way it is that you're talking about them. That's fantastic. Now, many professionals struggle to recognize the value of their own knowledge, right? You spend so much time developing yourself, learning so many things, but somehow they undervalue the power of that knowledge that they have. So what advice do you have for someone who feels that their expertise isn't special enough to be monetized? What would you say to such a person?
Well, I would call BS because that's not true. And it's when your mind gives you these signals of not being enough, or you don't have what it takes, look for evidence. Find evidence that if people are doing the ideas you have down. I have to say there's a caveat here, because sometimes when you're in this development of that's identity, this new identity, right? You're shifting from an old space of, I work this, I was hired for that, da, 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 da. But when you're shifting to that identity where like you're owning your own expertise, it can feel intimidating, because you'll look at other people and you'll say, oh, that idea is already out there. Well, guess what? That idea is already out there. Somebody's already getting paid for it. That's a clue. That's a clue that your expertise is worth monetizing. So don't be discouraged. And they'll start doing this comparison thing like, well, they don't need me, somebody. But there's your evidence that somebody is already being compensated for that expertise. And if they can do it, you can do it. Now, you may not know how to do it. You may not know the fastest way to get there. That's okay. We can figure that out. But to deny it, that's just some of the mindset work that you work around, and that's okay. But if you see evidence, find that evidence, solidify that evidence, and know that your expertise is worth monetization.
That's fantastic news. Thank you so much. I mean, as you know, the knowledge business or the knowledge space right now is one of the fastest growing industries in the world. It's worth billions and billions of dollars. And guess what? It has very little capital, right? You need very little capital to start it because you are the capital already. Your knowledge is the capital already. So fantastic news. Thank you so very much. Now, can you share a success story of one of your clients? Because some people like to, let's hear from a success story. So can you share maybe one success story of a client who you have worked with that discovered a hidden opportunity and how they turned it into a thriving business? Just for those doubting Thomases out there that feel, have you done this before? Can you share any of those experiences with us?
Yes, I can happily say that I've done it once, twice, 3 times, a lady plus more. One of my clients was an HR professional, and she had, she knew she had the skills, but she wasn't really feeling like, she wanted to start her own business and wanted to go out on her own, but she thought that she had to take one of her skill sets and give it away for free. So it was something that she was like in HR auditing, like, and she was like, oh, I can audit for companies. But she was just offering it as like this free offer, but it was taking her hours to not only conduct the audit, but prepare for it and to like do the post work after it, post delivery. And when we looked at it, work together on it. And I was just like, if you're going to get into a scalable space, you've got to start valuing what you're already doing. Like if you're already like, this is a natural part of your customer journey, then you should be getting paid for the work that you're doing. Well, we went from her charging nothing to it for being her $3,000 initial offer. Like, just going to organizations and letting them know where they're standing in their HR world. Well, fast forward now, she's conducting $50,000 engagements and higher. So, but if she hadn't started with like, oh, I could start monetizing this thing right here that is like so easy for me and naturally a part of what I do, and not thinking that I have to give it away for free, then I can, really ramp up my revenue. And she did, so right there, it's like, what are you doing for free? What are you giving away? What value do you already have that you're undervaluing or undercharging for that you should be valuing and charging for?
Fantastic. So what are you giving away for free? And I usually say what you are giving away for free that you could charge a fee for. That's what it is that we're talking about. That's really, really fantastic. And that's good news. So guys, you heard it, right? So she's talked about it. She's a client where she started from nothing, went up to 3,000, and now she's doing 50K. I mean, wouldn't you rather have a 50K extra into your income? I would definitely love to have that. Now, so you talk about 3 clear market signals that show where your knowledge is most valuable and profitable. So what are these signals, right? And how can someone spot them in their own industry? And if you can give us examples of any particular industry and how they can spot these 3 clear market signals, we'd really appreciate that.
Yeah. So when you're seeing, like right now we're going through a lot of shifting and changing in environments, right? Just if we look over the landscape here in the US in particular, just because I'm up close and personal with it. But, if you look at, okay, so what's happening at a higher level that you feel really passionate about, that you feel like it's something that you should be taking action in? That's usually a signal that there's something that you are equipped to help with. Like if you come up with an idea a day on how to change something, help something, fix something, that's a clear market signal that there's an opportunity for you. If you find yourself in conversations over particular topics time and time and time again, that are, something that you're like, I can fix that, I can help that, I have a solution for that, that's a signal that there is an opportunity for you. If you're starting to see that there's a lot of jobs and hiring, or there's a lot of shift in employment opportunities, and companies are, they're either laying off, or they're ramping up, or they're growing, and they're looking for particular expertise that's in your realm, that's an opportunity for you as well. So keeping an eye on what's happening on a high level, but then also making sure that you're paying attention to, and knowing also too, and I'll get to add a little extra, like what are the common conversations even at a higher level. So like if you are doing some of the scrolling, what are some of the things that are coming up that are like you're passionate about and that you feel best equipped? Like if you're almost sitting there saying like, if they knew I was available, man, I could fix this. If they just knew what I could do, I could fix this. That means that there are opportunities for you, and you just need to figure out how to communicate that you're the person ready for those opportunities. So keeping an eye on what are the common conversations that are being had, what are you seeing that's happening up close and personal, and what are you seeing at a higher level?
That's really valuable. Thank you so very much. Now, how can you help someone that has, a lot of these opportunities, coming their way, but how do they get to differentiate between a fleeting trend and a genuine market opportunity? How do you get to identify this as a genuine market opportunity so that you can pursue that? Any advice you can give in that area?
Yeah, especially in the area of like coaches and consultants, it's really taking what you see as trends and drilling them back down to like, what are the basics? Like, what are the basics in any part of your industry that are timeless? If you look at in the, business industry, like the B2B space, there are going to be certain things that happen no matter what. Companies are going to be growing. Companies are going to be collapsing. Employees are going to be added. Employees are going to be leaving. There's always going to be some type of disruption. And so if you look at those things, like no matter what trends are going on, those key things exist, then that keeps you out of the trends. The trends of like right now, AI is not going anywhere. And at first people are like, oh, that's a trend. Social media started out as a trend. But when you start to see things that are taking off at such a rapid pace and growing like wildfire, it's likely that they're not going to go away. They're going to evolve. And so you want to be on the cutting edge of that and saying, okay, where is this evolution going next? And so knowing the difference between, you start to notice, and if you think back over your lifetime, it's like, what were the true trends versus what's still here and still popular, right? And what's still ongoing regardless, what was it? The rock, like, what is that thing? It was your best friend. It was just like, they were selling a rock as your best friend. Right?
Was that the pearl? Was it the pearl?
No, it was actually a real rock. Like they used to sell like a rock as like, you're lonely, here's your best friend. It was like, the pet rock. That's what it was called. It was your pet rock. So a pet rock, that's something that people are going to catch on to. After a while, people are going to be like, really? You're friends with your rock? Okay, that's a little different. However, a stuffed animal they'll change, but they'll never go out of style. So, it's really recognizing like, well, what's that thing that's going to always be consistent? And that's how you get out of trends. And you got to watch things too. Like trends have telltale signs. You can tell that it's like, oh, people are going to be excited for this right now. We used to do the bucket challenge. Like, how much longer are people going to pour buckets of water on themselves and declare themselves doing? It's like they will fizzle out. But there are certain things that will never, ever leave. And it's like when there's an adoption by a huge group of people that shows you like this is here to stay, such as AI, that starts to transform the way culture and populations operate, that it shows you that it's here to stay.
Wow, impressive. Thank you so very much for that. Now, for someone that is listening to you right now and saying, okay, yes, Karen, I mean, I hear you. You've convinced me. I've got what it takes. I can go out there and do this. But right now, they are confused. What is the first step they should take to identify where their expertise aligns with the market demand? Because they may be convinced right now. I mean, I'm hoping you have been able to convince anybody. You've given us examples. But what's the first step for them to take? What would you advise on that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of steps. One is if you're unsure, you can always contact me directly and I will help you figure that out. I have this great workbook. It's 25 pages that helps you go through that. It's the high value expert roadmap. But you can also just start by listing down all of the skills that you have, right? And what happens is people think that they are what they do. And it's not you are what you do. You are what you're proposed to do. So you were here, you were put on this earth to do something that was going to make an impact on humanity. And in order to figure out what that is, it is finding where the consistency and the joy of what you do, how you make that impact, right? And so it's really your skills, like what skills come natural to you. That's a key indicator of what it is that you are making a most impact with. So you write down like all those skills that you have, like the ones that come easy to you, and especially in your business, the things that you have to do, but you're not like I can do bookkeeping. It's not a love space, it's not a joy space, but I can do it, right? So write down all those. And then when you're going through it, cross out the ones that you don't love. Right? Just cross them out. Just like, I can do it, but I don't love it. Then cross out the ones that you can do, you don't mind it, but you don't really want to do it. Cross those out next. Then you kind of circle the ones that, or star the ones that you're like, I'm really good at this. I actually like to do it, but it makes me tired. Like once I'm finished doing it, I'm exhausted. For instance, I love going out and meeting people and having, face-to-face conversations. But by the end of that day, I'm pretty exhausted. Like it's exhausting. But if I am coaching somebody, I can coach back to back to back all day long. And I'm like, I want to do it again. I want to do it again. I can speak all day long. I want to do it again. I want to do it again. Those are the ones you circle. So those are your love spaces. There's probably like no more than 3, typically 1 to 2. Those are your genius zone. That's your most profitable genius. That's the space that you should be operating in. And that's how you deliver your impact, is through that way, right? And so now you build a business that allows you to do that more and more, but it's also allowing you to, now you got to couple that, like, what are you passionate about? Like your purpose is to change humanity in some way, to transform humanity. What is that slice of humanity that you most want to impact? When you match that skill set with that passion, now that's where you're going to find your profitable genius.
Oh,
and then of course you have to match that with the audience that wants it, right? And there's an audience that will pay for it.
Very good. Match your skill set with that passion. Fantastic. So for someone that has been able to identify the skill and they're matching it with the passion, now it is time to get out there. So how do they package it into an offer? Like you've talked about the audience, that people are willing and are eager to buy. What would you advise?
Yeah, so some of the most common mistakes that I see my clients and other coaches and consultants make is that, first of all, they undervalue that first offer. They typically, like my client was just talking about, they'll give it away for free or they'll give it away for like, just less than what they think. And so they just, they do that, but they also create something that they love, right? It's like, this is my baby, without doing customer research. The biggest and most common mistake is not having conversations with real potential clients. And here's the thing, I get it. Most people don't want to market. They don't like marketing. They feel like they can't market. They don't want to sell themselves. It feels uncomfortable. But these are the skills that will keep your business going. If you don't know how to market and you don't know how to sell, then you don't really have a business. And so getting that But where you get your best marketing and how you do your best selling is having conversations. And what I mean is the customer research is asking questions, being curious, listening for the consistent themes, having some hypotheticals about what you think that offer is and the outcomes that you want to help, that you want to achieve, but coming with a hypothetical mind and confirming those hypotheses through real world conversations. The more you have those conversations, the more you start working with clients, that's where you make your most robust offers. So it's a little bit of, you got to do a little legwork before you make the best offer. And your initial offers are going to be wonky. That's okay. They're not going to be probably at the height they can be, but the more that you start to do the work that you're doing, the easier it is to go like very quickly up in how much you're asking people to invest.
That's really amazing. I mean, as we were just talking, I was smiling here. And the reason why I was smiling is because I have a group of people that I work with. I run my own coaching business as well. And I meet with a group of them every week. And incidentally, just yesterday, of course, all for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about businesses because we focus on different things, careers, businesses, and personal lives. But for the past couple of weeks, we've been focusing on businesses. And just yesterday, we were having conversations about how you might have a business idea, but you need to test the market, just like what you were talking about. And we're looking at what was called the empathy map, how you're actually getting details from the prospective clients that you're going to sell to. So that's fantastic. And for anybody that is wondering out there that wants to be a part of what it is I just talked about, I mean, you can speak to any of my team members. I'm sure they're on the call right now, and you'll be able to have a chat with them about that. Now, I'm enjoying this conversation. Now, I know you've helped clients of yours achieve 6 times, 7 times, even 8 times of their growth in income under 9 months or less. Now, part of what our organization is all about, especially this year, is 10x growth strategies, right? Even our conferences, the Accelerate is 10x growth strategies for impact and life, right? What is the secret to creating such offers that will drive such rapid results to 10x whatever it is that they're doing? What's the secret to creating such an offer?
Yeah, so I have a value alignment framework, and each letter is a part of the acronym value, and part of it is that alignment piece, right? It's aligning yourself, right, with the right clients for you. And so, with this particular client, she was a little all over the place as far as who's the right clients, and she was kind of taking on whatever work she could get. That, and not even in but it was like work would come to her, and she had the habit of saying yes. Well, but it was the work. Sometimes it was work that she really, really, really wanted to do, and sometimes it was work that was just like, well, it will pay the bills, and it wasn't the highest value work that she could do in her highest value genius space. And so it's first figuring out, what is the vision for your business? Like, what is it that you most want your business to look like? Who do you want to work with? How do you want to operate? What is the work that you enjoy doing? What is the work that they're going to get the most bang for their buck from? What is the work that you can stand back and say, if you work with me, you're going to get 10 to 20 times return on your investment. That's the type of work that you really want to hone in on. And once you figure that, now you've got to figure out, okay, so who's the audience that is already looking for this work? Stop running and looking, and stop accepting things that are beneath that space. The thing is, you really got to hold that I am a high value expert, and I work with I do high value work with people who are high value clientele. And so ensuring that you're aligning with those folks, and then really leveraging your existing network and finding those opportunities that make the most sense for you. Being able to communicate your unique value to those people. So you're having a strong messaging, knowing how to connect with the right audience, and then having an engagement strategy that works, a very simple methodology on engaging people. So please, it's not in your website. It's not in how many Facebook or LinkedIn posts you can do a day. It's not in your YouTube. If you're, especially in the space that I work with, a lot of my clients work with organizations and associations and things of that nature. So, if you're going to talk to decision makers, you got to go where they are, but you have to, until you know who you are and what you're about, and you're really communicating from that space, it's really hard for you to ramp up your income. And so, it takes a minute to like really figure out, okay, well, who am I? And once she clicked in, and instead of looking for like all of these, clients here, she was able to engage, like her contracts went from like a $22,000 contract to a $240,000 contract by staying with the same organization, because she was so tuned into like, this is who I want to work with. And they loved her so much. They're just like, keep coming back. Keep coming back. We love you. How else can we work with you? Because she was in her genius zone. They valued her genius zone. She knows what she's about and they know what she's about. And now she's in the position of clients are coming to her. She's being discerning about, well, do I take you on or not? And she's finding that she's having more fulfilling client relationships rather than feeling like, there's a lot of times where you feel like, I hope they hire me. I hope I get this job. Instead of like, she's like, if they want to work with me, great. If they don't, then that's fine. I'm on to the next. Like, it's no longer being in that scarcity space. It's, I'm a trusted partner. I'm the person that they should be working with. And you become that go-to expert. So there's a shift in how you see yourself in the relationship.
That's really valuable. That really, really amazing. I mean, like you rightly talked about, it requires a certain shift in mindset to get to that point that you are really valuable and they need your expertise right there. It's not about working more. You can actually work less and earn 10 times more than what it is that you are earning right now. I'm going to take a question that we have from LinkedIn, right? I see Hero Cedric, I think he's joining us from China today. And he has a question for you, Karis. I'm just going to read that question out, and if you can help answer the question. He says, how can individuals research and analyze market trends to ensure their unique talents meet actual consumer needs? Are there specific strategies or frameworks you recommend for this alignment? I kind of feel you've kind of answered that already, but do you want to speak to that? Do you need me to read the question again?
No, I got it.
All right.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing him say is like, what is the best approach to doing the client research, right? And so beyond having just real world conversation, what you can do is, wonderful tools that we have these wonderful AI tools. I prefer for research like this, Perplexity. Choosing the industries that you most want to know about, finding out like what are the trends that you're most interested in knowing about, using the AI tools. You can also use things like, Google searches, what have you. You can use industry papers. So you can do, like, are there industry papers? Are there studies? Are there journals? Are there associations that give up information like that do like annual reports of things of that nature? So there's so much information. I would say your starting point though is to pinpoint the specific area and the specific trend. So say that, there is an AI trend that's going on, but you really want to know how it hits the healthcare market. That's what you want to be very specific about. Like, what is it that I'm actually hoping to find out? So be as narrow as you can to get the depth of information that you're looking for. I hope that helps him.
All right, so Hirwa, I think that's your name. I hope that helps you as well. Now, we're enjoying this conversation, but we need to gradually start bringing this home, right? Now, this month, and especially this webinar, is targeted towards the women, right? As a woman who has navigated the corporate leadership and entrepreneurship space with unique challenges. Now, what challenges do women face when transitioning into coaching and consulting? And how can they overcome them? Share it from your own expertise and your experience as well.
Yeah, so like I said, I primarily work with women. And what I will say is that women have been stripped of their identity as far as having the strength and purpose, right? And what I mean by that is that, women come into the world and depending on, I think culturally it's different, but so I could really only speak from the American perspective and as a Black woman in America. But from what I've observed is that, you come in and here's a role that you have to play in the world. And as a woman, it's like, and I want you to be kind when you do it. And I want you to be humble when you do it. And I want you to, always be nurturing because women are more nurturing than men. And I want you to, and so you're always taught like, this is who you are and this is how you have to show up. But what I found over the years is that all of that drowns out like what is the true spirit and essence of who you are. And when you show up, it's, you know, accepting that it's enough if I show up how I really want to show up. It's enough if I am, the world can handle me being me how I declare me to be. And so the big significance is a little bit of coming out of that own way that you see yourself, but then navigating the world at large. Those stereotypes and expectations also are standing in society. So navigating, well, how do I navigate through society when society also believes those things about how women are supposed to operate? So it's a little bit of being willing to be disruptive of the mindset that's going on in here and disruptive of what you're seeing out there, and not necessarily believing what you're being told, and being able to put that to the side. Now, you know, I have women who come to me and they're like, oh, I'm a little older now. And I, you know, like, I'm wondering if I have the ability to run a business. And it's like, well, I've had clients in their 70s. So yeah, you know, like again, when you're not sure, look for evidence. Find the evidence that supports that what you want to believe rather than what you've been told to believe. And you will find that there is always an example that you can go farther and you can go further and you can do exactly what you want to do. So find your heroes and your sheroes and lean into them.
Find your heroes and your sheroes and lean into them. Amazing, fantastic. A couple of days ago, like I said, I'm a passionate woman ally, right? A couple of days ago, I was part of a book launch that was just on Saturday. It was a book about women in academia in Ireland, right? But somehow I was snuck into the book, so I wrote a chapter in the book as well. And at the book launch on Saturday, I was sharing some of my thoughts around, you know, creating diversity, especially within the teaching profession. And I did say something that, you know, there are several barriers that exist, systemic barriers that are preventing either, you know, whatever form of minority, the gender minority, the ethnic minority. There are several barriers that exist, but the most effective barriers are the ones that you place against yourself. Right? Once you can break your own barriers, those barriers of, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, no one is going to value my expertise out there. Once you can break that barrier, trust me, any other barrier can be broken. So thank you for emphasizing this. Now, as we begin to close this out, if you had just one key takeaway that you want anybody listening right now, those on the call right now, or those that are going to be listening to this afterwards, to remember about uncovering their profitable genius, what will that be?
That your genius is needed and necessary and here for you to use. Not for you to think about, not for you to wonder about, not for you to self-doubt about. It's here for you to use, and it keeps showing up. So if you're feeling like there's something that I'm supposed to be doing, you're feeling that uncomfortable, like I'm outgrowing where I am, or, you know, I'm supposed to be doing something more, follow that. Follow it, because your opportunity is trying to show up for you. And the more that you deny it, the louder it gets. You know, Oprah says that, like, when you're calling and tapping, sometimes it starts as a little tap on the shoulder, and then it gets to be like a thump on the shoulder, and then it's a 2x4 to your face. Well, when you see yourself like laid off, but you've been thinking about starting a business for 6-7 years, that could be your calling, asking you to be answered, you know? So just know that it's there for you. And like anything that you have been ruminating over, follow it.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Just before we let you go, imagine you woke up one morning, Karen, right? And just about everything we knew about you had disappeared. All the work you had done, all the clients you've had, everything disappeared. You literally had to start your life all over again. So where are you going to start from, and what are you going to do differently this time? Probably even thinking of coming out as a man. Maybe, I don't know. What are you going to do differently this time?
I would start with earplugs. I would start with earplugs. No, honestly, because I wouldn't want the noise that's outside of me to get internalized, right? You know, I would hope that I would have the wisdom to be able to say, thank you for what you're sharing with me. However, this serves me versus that doesn't serve me. And to be much more intentional about really following my purpose and to listening to those things, like saying yes to the things that I really wanted to say yes to and no to the things that I didn't want to.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. We wish we could have Karen forever and ever, but no, unfortunately, whatever has the beginning has come to an end. So we really enjoyed it. But before we let you go, Karen, I mean, if people wanted to contact you, maybe find out more about what you do or secure your services in one way or the other, what's the best place for them to contact you at?
Yeah, I spend the majority of my time over on LinkedIn, so you can connect with me there. It's Karen Graves. I believe it's like Work with Karen is my tag on there. I also have like I mentioned, the High Value Expert Roadmap. If you send me an email or a DM, so you can DM me on LinkedIn and put roadmap, or you can email me, Karen@KarenGravesCoaching.com. You can say roadmap. I will send that over to you. So go ahead and do that. And I'm happy to give you, like I said, it's a 25-page step-by-step guide that's going to help you uncover your most profitable genius and give you the words to it as well. So there's some communication exercises in there as well, and a 90-day and a launch plan as well. So yeah, connect with me and I'm happy to help.
All right, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our conversation today. Karen, it's been amazing having you share from your wealth of knowledge with us today. We know you've taken out of your very, very busy schedule to be with us today. So on behalf of myself and everybody on the call right now, and even those that will listen to the conversation afterwards, would like to thank you for being a part of the Impact Live series.
Thank you so much. It's been my honor, my pleasure. I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you're doing for the entrepreneurial community, because we're the change makers. And so as many of us that can support the change makers, let's do it.
All right. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been another wonderful opportunity having this conversation with you today. If you've been a part of this, please like this video, share it with as many people that need to hear it, right? We're going to leave it right here on our page, whether on YouTube or on LinkedIn. It's going to be available there for you to rewatch and get the values from. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the Impact Leadership Conference, the next edition, is holding in London City. If you want to be a part of that, someone should be dropping that link for you very, very shortly. You can apply for a ticket. It's absolutely free, but you need to apply for it and hope your application is approved. You will get details on how to join if your application is approved. It's been a wonderful conversation with you today, and we have one more conversation before the end of March, right? So you don't want to miss that. It's holding on Sunday by 8 p.m. UK time, I believe. Yes, 8 p.m. UK time. We're going to be having another wonderful conversation to wrap up the month of March, the Impact Live series in commemoration of the International Women's Day. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end with what I usually tell you. There's greatness on your inside, and the world is waiting for you to birth and manifest your greatness. Go out there and be profitable, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
We welcome Karen Graves to the Impact Leadership Live series. Karen Graves is an IPEX certified professional coach with a background in business strategy and sales leadership. She is a seasoned business transformation strategist dedicated to helping coaches and consultants unlock their authentic advantage and secure higher paying clients. With over 16 years of experience, Karen has guided numerous professionals to transform their expertise into lucrative businesses. Her approach isn't about hustling harder, it's about aligning your unique strengths with clients who value them. Karen's expertise spans from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to founding Karen Graves Coaching. Beyond her professional achievements, Karen is passionate about empowering others to achieve their full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we welcome Karen